All right, this is one you're not going to want to miss. This is Stan's 06 LJ. We finished it up last year. He's had it for about 6 months. He's taken out a couple test runs, and it's back today for a couple punch list items. We got it twisted up on the forklift right now. So come on in here, we'll show you around.
All right, I'm on.
So Stan was trying to build the ultimate LJ, and I think that's what we've done here. So while we're up on the rack, let's take a look at this. So we got the Poison Spider stubby front bumper, the Xeon 10,000 synthetic winch, 10-inch rigid, nice and small and clean, and of course you got the KC headlights in there. We went ahead and built these fenders custom. Kevin did his own Highline fenders, and then Stan sourced this fiberglass hood off the old interwebs. So it's a Highline with custom fenders, but this is really the heart of the build. So we decided to try this out with the Spicer Ultimate 60s. So he has 538 gears. You can see the 1550 U-joints, and we did our heavy-duty Ultimate 60 2-inch quarter wall tie rod, PSC hydraulic assist. It has a Curry Rock Jock sway bar in here, full-time hooked up. And then this is kind of cool. We did the Ultimate 60s with the ARB. You can see the ARB line coming out right here, and a 3-link. So this is how tight everything is. Look right up in here. That is the 3rd link. And then if you come underneath here and take a peek, we have, I'll sneak underneath here. We've removed the skid plate so you can see everything, but you can see drive shaft tucked way up in the high pinion, and the 3-link comes up inside, and the Heim joint actually had to mount sideways there to clear everything. The 6L80E that's in here has a huge tranny pan. So as you can see, the exhaust comes around from the driver's side, around the front, and then Y's right here so that we can get it nice and tucked up in there. It has factory manifolds on it. It actually has 2 right side manifolds to make everything work. So full belly, skid pan, which the plates are taken off right now, Atlas 4.3. Look at the back, that is the Spicer Ultimate 60 rear with our full truss with dual triangulated 4-link, using the metal cloak joints. And you sneak up inside here, you can see the inside 4-link mounts on the side of the frame. Those are our brackets, and then the truss in the rear. 1350 CV rear driveline. Now, this is where it gets kind of cool. So shadows are in the way, but this is our trailing arm, and we decided to go with just a single 12-inch travel king coilover, and then we went ahead and dropped the sway bar end link in the other spot on the trailing arm. In the future, if he wants to go to bypasses, he can, but for now it tucks in there real nice. So the exhaust goes all the way to the back, dual into 1, air bumps, and right now we're running the 42's BFG crawlers on 20-inch trail readies. So, you know, you got to have 20s when you're running 42's. One of the other things Stan did to keep it tight and clean is these are the Rockslide Engineering slider steps. So these can pop right out so you can get in and out easy. Otherwise, not a lot of flare, not too fancy on the side of this thing. So on the rear, it was a less is more scenario. Stan didn't want a spare tire, and he wanted to get rid of the swinging tailgate. So this is the CJ flip down tailgate setup from Poison Spider. No big back bumper, no racks, just real tight looking. It's got the GenRight gas tank in the rear. And as you can see, this thing full tucks. It gets all the travel. So enough looking at this thing. Let's get it down off the forklift. Let's get on the road and let's take it for a run, because she does have a little LS3 tucked in there. You ready to go for a ride? Here we go. All right, so when Stan kind of gave us the idea of what he wanted to build, we weren't really sure if it had been done before, because he said he basically wanted a buggy that he could drive every day, that had AC, that handled well on 42's and bead locks, that he could also go run Moab, Rubicon, Fordyce, and not have any problems. So that's not an easy request form to fill out. So I think we might have nailed it though. So check this bad boy out. And just like that, we're rolling. She's loud when she needs to be loud. She's quiet when she needs to be quiet. So just rolling down the freeway in 6th gear, you know. If we want to, we can just bump it on down into paddle shift mode and paddle shift it, or we can just let it cruise. What do you think about them apples? There's that paddle shift, you know, just click the button, boom, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, back to 2nd, back to 1st. Nothing better than paddle shift on an LJ with 450 horse LS3 and a 6L80, huh? So, one finger, 70 miles an hour, rolling down the freeway. We can turn on the AC if we want. So air conditioning, all the factory gauges are working, factory airbag hooked up. As far as this vehicle knows, it does not have the LS3 in it. Factory seat belts. Take a look here. We got the Poison Spider full roll cage tucked in here real nice with the factory seat belts hooked up. And then look up top here. We got all the S-Pod switches there for your lockers and everything else, kind of hidden away. So from the inside, factory leather seats. You know, nothing's really different in this thing. It just feels like an LJ. But obviously under the hood and with the suspension, this is no LJ. Yeah, so obviously we figured out that this thing doesn't have the 4-liter straight 6 in here. But one of the other upgrades that's just awesome is, I mean, you barely touch the brakes and this thing stops. So this thing's got the Ultimate 60, I believe the brakes are 14-inch dual piston calipers front and rear. But we went ahead and put Hydro Boost brakes on this running off of the PSC power steering pump, and this thing, you barely touch the brakes and you are stopping. And it does that in low range as well as high range. So we'll pull in up here and I'll pop the hood and we'll show you the lifeblood of this beast. So, I'm sure everybody wants to see under the hood of this bad boy. Check out these hood latches right here. Kevin figured these out. Fiberglass hood, Highline. You just hit the button, boom. There she is. So, GM Performance, brand new LS3. You can see the S-Pod sitting on the back of the engine. Like I said, Hydro Boost brake setup. Go ahead and just swing this up right here. So Hydro Boost brakes. And then look down in there, and you can see that there's a right side manifold put on backwards, left side, so we can sneak that exhaust around. Come under the fender, you can see it a little bit better. So it's a factory manifold put on backwards, and then if you go right up by the pinion here, you can see the exhaust cutting across to the other side, so we can keep everything nice and tight in there. So we have electric fans, and the motor sits down in there nice and low. Nothing else too fancy. You got your ARB dual compressor tucked right here on the inside of the fender well. The front has 14-inch, 2.5-inch king coilovers and 2.0 air bumps. And you walk around over here, you can kind of see the AC condenser. So all the AC is hooked back up. The pump is sitting on the top of the motor right here. Tucked it through the firewall, and the AC blows ice cold in this bad boy. And even with Kevin's custom Highline fenders, we were able to keep a single yellow top Optima hidden right here up under the fender. And you can see right here, this is the factory computer still hooked up. So Todd over at Jeep Speed combined the factory harness with the GM harness, which enables all the gauges and all the factory stuff inside to still work. So this thing truly is turnkey and one of a kind. As you can see, it sits really low. I don't think we've ever built one that sits this low, and we still have about 6 inches of up travel from where it sits right now. So with the trailing arms, You know, the Rockslide Engineering electric steps, soft top, AC. I really don't know where we missed on this one. This is the ultimate buggy, Jeep, daily driver, LJ, LS3 powered on 60s. See ya.